Hi, today we're going to talk about our basic usage of our Handle It Model 3000 mobile wrapper. This is made to wrap pallets where the pallet stands, so you don't have to bring the pallet to it. It's a mobile unit, so you can bring it around the warehouse wherever you want. The 3000 model is the heavy-duty machine made to wrap about 150 pallets a day on average. You can do more than that in a day, but if you're doing more than that consistently, you may want to consider a second unit. There's a couple reasons why you'd want this type of machine. One is if you have odd-shaped long pallets, so let's say a 10-foot by 4-foot pallet. If you put that on a regular turntable, it would spin around and it would hit the mast and knock into the machine. So this is perfect for that type of pallets that you're going to wrap. Secondly, if you don't want to dedicate a certain spot in your warehouse for a stretch wrap machine and you want to be able to move it to the pallets and wrap them where they stand, this is a perfect solution for that. Alright, so since this is a mobile machine, it's important to position this machine correctly into the pallet. So, as you can see here, there's a green button for going forward, black for backwards. So you can move this around wherever you want. Anywhere else. If I'm coming around here, let's say I stop that wheel right there, that's the guide wheel. If I stop there and I kept going, it's just going to push in. So you wouldn't be able to wrap up there. So if I go back, you want this wheel to come around the pallet. So once I get around that corner, now you're set. Because if I just kept doing this, it would just follow all the way around the pallet. And bring it back here. And then I want to talk a little bit about the carriage and how you would load the film. We have a power pre-stretch carriage here, and you can see the film is set there. This comes straight through, and then around this roller. And then it's very key that after it goes past this roller, it has to come around this one. If I just stop right there, close this. If I went like that, it's not going to be able to pull it off. So it has to come around this roller, which is the load cell, and that'll allow the film to move. So the film comes out like that, and you attach it to the pallet, and then we can show you how to wrap this. Alright, to turn the machine on, you want to push this button in and hold it to the on position. You hear it engaged, and it's going to load up its memory. There's only a few buttons on this machine besides the touch screen. So everything is touch screen except for these few buttons. This is an emergency stop right here. This is the start button, and then this is also a pause button basically. So on the touch screen you have your manual mode here, and then you have your cycles. So when you go into here, that's where you can change all your parameters. Right here you can see where it says C1. We're in wrap mode 1 right now. If I click on the manual mode, there's only a few things you can do. One, if you click this to raise the carriage up, when you push this button in, you can raise it up. Click carriage down, push this in, carriage down. If you want to change your film out, you can do it at an ergonomic height. You can preset it to a certain height to raise up to. So if I did that and push this button, it's going to raise the carriage up so I can change the film. You don't have to do that. It's just going to help you more so you don't have to bend over as much. So I'm just going to go back to carriage up. If I go back, hit the back button here, I'm going to go into the wrap cycles. So, wrap cycles. As you can see, we are in wrap mode number 1. If I wanted to change that, I would click that and this small box pops up, and I could change it to, let's say, wrap cycle number 5 and hit enter. But I don't want to really do that, so I'm going to go back to 1, hit enter. And you can see these up and down arrows. Right now it's saying the carriage is going to go up and it's going to come back down for this cycle. If I wanted to change it just to go up, I could click that, so now the arrow is just going up. And I'm going to put it back to up and down. From there, I mentioned the guide before. It'll help you know what these different images mean. So the first image here, that's going to be to the rotation speed. So if I click on that, it's set at 100. If I clicked on this, I could change it. Notice it says minimum is 0, maximum is 100. So right now it's going to be as fast as it's going to go. So I'm going to keep it at that. Then I'm going to go to the next one. The next one is going to be the tension. Notice that 50. So it's 50 out of 100. Let's say if I went to wrap this pallet and it had pretty sharp edges and my film wasn't that thick and it was tearing, I would want to pare this down and maybe go to 25 out of 100. From there, if I go to the right, I have the next one, which is the number of top wraps. So see here it's set to 1. It's going to wrap the top of the pallet one time. Bottom wraps is right here. That's set to 1 as well. And then we have our up speed. That's going to be how fast the carriage is going to go up. It's set to 50 out of 100 right now. If I wanted to go up faster, I could set it up to 100. Next one is carriage down speed. I have that set at 50 as well. Then we go down to the middle wraps. So as you're going up and down with this carriage, you are going to wrap the middle of the pallet. So you don't always have to have it, you really could have it set to 0 if it's consistent with the rest of the pallet. But we have it set to 1 here. If I cared more about the middle and I said, hey, you know what, I really want to wrap the middle of this good, I'd set it to 2 or 3 middle wraps. So we'll keep it at 1. And notice right here, if I clicked on this, I could exclude it. So even though it says 1, it's excluding it, so it's not going to do middle wraps. But I want to have it included. Next we have the start height. So let's say I wanted to start this carriage up at, in millimeters, let's say at 20 millimeters off the ground. I could do that, so it always started at 20 millimeters off the ground. But I have it as excluded, so I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to start at the very bottom. Next one is going to be the end height. So this is essentially going to turn off the photo eye, and you're going to predetermine the height that you want this to stop at and then go back down. Notice we have it as excluded because we're saying, you know what, the photo eye is good. We want the photo eye to detect the height of the pallet and come down when it detects that. Next, and very important, is this pallet perimeter. So I mentioned the sheet before. That's basically a cheat sheet that comes with this. So here's what you're going to put in here, what the perimeter of the pallet is. So I know this is actually a 40 by 48 inch pallet, which if I'm looking at this cheat sheet comes to 447 centimeters for the perimeter. So I have it set to 447. If I had a bigger pallet, let's say 120 inch by 48, I'd want it 853 centimeters. But I'm good here. This is the top or the top sheet. I'm not going to go over that because it's not really used that often. We'll go through here. This is going to be the overwrap height. So this is, once that photo eye determines the top of the pallet, it's going to come back down. If I actually wanted to get some overwrap on it, I would change this. So let's click on this. I have it set to 300 millimeters, which is about 3 centimeters. So I do have some overwrap set on this. Next one here, we're not going to get into the pre-stretch ratio. We're going to keep going here to the right. Basically, we're going back to the beginning. And I want to hit the save button if I made any changes. If I don't save it, it's not going to save what I did. So we have wrap cycle 1 all set. So we want to go to the home page. And usually, let's say wrap number 1 is what you're always doing. You don't have to go through all that. You could just walk up to the machine and say, hey, we're in wrap cycle 1. Let's go. So now that we have our settings in place, I just have to hit the start button and it'll engage the machine.